Let's them two bits in, guys, and we dab of foam round whatever wee gaps you could see. So I'm gonna let that cure. But in the meantime, I'm gonna cut up my 50mm. Have some monarch left from around the window reveals, so I'm gonna cut that up. I think it's enough. I think I measured and it was enough to finish this. So I'm gonna measure that up in the meantime and get that cut ready to suit. Not easy, guys, because I have a few miters to do. So the top piece, technically you can just put the top piece on square and then miter two small pieces. So I might just do that. I think that might work out that bit easier to do it that way. Just while I have my mind focused. Right, guys, that's it all foamed and taped up now. As you can see, I just taped that one. It was a bit rough looking. But yeah, it's foamed and taped up, so now I'm going to start putting the 50mm over the top and see how we can get them last two wee pieces in. Right, so guys, we'll have that pinned up temporary. Made a lot of washers up here and screws. Gonna cut the two side bits, foam and tape, whatever it is. There we are, all insulated, foamed up, taped. Wasn't too bad, just had to make sure and get them sealed a bit, and a wee bit of foam spilling out either end. I'll just trim them off later. So if I step back, you can kind of see what I was talking about these wee overhangs. That was always going to happen. There's nothing really much you could do about it because of the specs. If I had knew that, maybe could have set the roof up a bit higher, just to allow for them slopes to come down inside it. But again, it is what it is. It's going to look nice either way. I have some soundboard here again, guys. So if you see it brown side down inside there, don't be panicking because the board is brown side both sides. Again, the important thing is to put that seam up into the ceiling so that it's locked in. Again, this is just an cut off an old job, so I'm gonna chop it up and hopefully it fits in there completely and does in there. I do have another 1/2 sheet down, but I'd rather start with that in that room. Also, I had to dig it out. Look at this room, guys, absolute jam packed with insulation. I had to dig it out. I had all the older boards sitting here, so I will struggle to get it in. But the beauty is I have a lot of insulation now, so I'm not going to be waiting around. Didn't know the guys were going to bring that much in one go on me, but yeah, pretty much have all the 100mm here. And this has took me way longer than I expected. So I need to get a move on with the boarding of it now. The other thing is, guys, when I'm putting this foam up, I remember doing a job, patching it up. There's all big cracks along the joint and it's patching up. And then eventually, I think big lumps of plaster started falling on the fell. And there was a big loft, like the one that I'm doing. But the problem was, when they came to that angle, they try and explain this. So instead of going right up tight to the timbers, they were floating. So they were like, there was a gap when it came. So it meant the plasterboard was kind of bouncing there. So I don't know. Can't remember what the solution was. I think we put big screws on and stuff, or cut a section out, and we were able to miter to get it to go up. But it's something I'm gonna have to be careful going forward, making sure everything's tight. And again, that's why I put some big screws and washers into that, because I want the foam up tight. Before I even start boarding, I don't have lots of screws in, just enough to hold it in place. And then when I'm boarding, I will make sure everything's really screwed tight with these big screws. I'm going to put a good lot of them in there. And again, when it's all plastered around the edges, it will be well and truly locked in. But yeah, I'll show you a wee clip of me actually screwing up some boards here. Right, so guys, I have everything at the ready here. Got a few screws up top actually. How to adjust the prop to fit. So yeah. Definitely want a prop when it comes to this insulation to make sure I'm pushing up hard before I start screwing. And make sure I put this the right way around now. So hopefully this fits here. I haven't tried it yet. It's going to be tight. Yeah. It's a wee bit too tight, guys. So we'll just take a wee rip off this here. And then we'll go again. But it was good lengthwise there. It was perfect lengthwise. So there we are, guys. I took about 10 mil off there just to be doubly safe. So let's try that again, eh? Hopefully this time we're all good. Make sure I put the right side down. I think there is a stutter on that block yet. That won't help. Right, need to come this way a wee bit. Otherwise, do what I was saying earlier there. It's us, guys, so we'll get a load of pins in it now. Which is a bit of an eyeballing game. I should have really marked there as well, but leave the top for now. I'm sure that will cut. So I'm mostly going to use washers on stuff that's over the insulation, guys. I might put the odd one in without a washer, just to get an extra fixing or whatever, but that'll be nothing too major. Again, anything you miss must come out. Missed twice. I thought that was there. I'll go tighter. No. The joys of big long screws, guys. No point reversing the screw in. But yeah, guys, that's that one more or less on. Get these two side bits cut up and screwed on as well. I have to do them in 2 pieces. Have a joint. Just don't think I have enough of that brown board. I'd rather keep all in there the same type of board if I can. If I can't, it doesn't matter all that much. There we are, guys. All done, well screwed. I had to put a wee 20mm slither in there. I wanted to go tight here, and then the scrim will catch all that anyway. Same here, there'll be a big round here, and there will be a bead along and a flick. So that is going to look tasty, plastered. I think it looks okay now. I just wish that I had a wee bit more of that brown board, but it wasn't wide enough, and I didn't want to do it in loads and loads of pieces, so I just decided to use that other piece that fitted. So again, stayed on. I had to put that wee strip in too. But that's it, guys. Technically ready for plastering inside that area, bar the ceiling once the ceiling comes across. And what I might do is, with that last piece, bring it over and keep myself a wee bit out so that I can just render down onto that, and then it's just a matter of sticking a skimming bead on and that will be sorted. But yeah, kind of feels good just to get that done. It's took me way longer to do that than I thought it would have. It's took way more stuff than I thought it would have as well, because that board, that brown board alone was like, I thought I was going to murder it and have some left over, but I don't. So now I'm going to get on to the next job, which will be doing a wee bit of insulation, and then I think that will, I'll just pack up for the day. Again, guys, these wee bits here, just at the edges, the wee triangles, might plaster them anyway, so that they're in plastered in behind. It is just foam. I could notch it back and glue a bit of board on but I'll likely just SBR it, put a bit of bonding and scrim tape over it, and let that set, and then skim it, because the bead will catch, and then scrim around the corners too. It'll be well secured, and again, nothing should hit it up there. And the corbel, I might do a corbel either side of the 2 posts, but that's down the line, that's way down the line. Now I'm gonna go choose a room and start putting some 100mm insulation in, so that it could be boarded. Just quickly guys, before I move on from this area, actually I decided I may as well get this area ready for the ceiling to come out flush. Again, I could have did multiple things with this, let it step up, but I want it flush right to the edge. So I've set up my level there, and I can just about squeeze this in behind. So I'm gonna get the circular saw. It'll be the first time using the battery powered one. I'm gonna cut it to length here, and then I'm gonna just glue it up and clamp it up, and then it can sit there for a day or two until it sets off. And again, that means I can just actually screw these boards onto that, and it'll just run right in. Lovely. First go with the circular saw, guys. Doesn't need to be perfect here. So just make sure I don't cut it too small. Not bad, nice and handy, quicker than the saw. And what I might do, guys, is start using that circular saw for the insulation to keep a nice square edge. I'm doing okay so far, but if anything can speed me up, I'm gonna try it. Right guys, so I have my adhesive ready. It feels nice and sticky and thick. So now I'm gonna give that a quick rub down there. Might loosen that button, get my other prop and stuff ready before I actually start trying to glue anything. So if you just look, guys, this timber here that I'm hitting, that is now acting as a joist. So look, if I hit that, I hit them too, and we're sitting pretty good, guys, off the 3. So over the moon with that, and that's all across, that's all sides. It's all the same here as well, look, touching. So now that we'll have that organised, it means when I come to plasterboard this ceiling, I don't have to stop, I can just keep boarding. And also it means I can bridge right across here, and there's no bouncy bits or anything. I did actually think that I had it worked out where it was going to be an insulated board there or something, but that was obviously before I had it completely measured. But yeah, over the moon with that now, guys. Just let that glue set up here before I take them props away, and you've seen plenty of glue on it. And then I might jump into here, start insulating these lovely areas. But I don't know, I also might go and get something to eat and call it a day. One more wee quick note, guys, of what I was talking about, I think way earlier in the video, was leaving, when I do sheet this, when I put my plasterboard out on this bit of timber on the concrete lintel, if I just leave myself 5mm overhang right across, then what that'll do is it'll act as a wee rule, and then I can just float that bit cement render onto that, and that area is then just ready for skim. So I've got it all in here, guys. I've got it all worked out inside the head. Just really struggling for time, and again, keep putting myself, I don't know why I'm putting myself on overwhelming pressure, kind of because it can be done. It's like everything, and I'm doing it all wrong by thinking about the whole job instead of coming out just concentrating like I did today. Just concentrate on one area, forget everything else, concentrate on that one area, and just torture myself by thinking board, just thinking too many jobs in one go. Just sort of need to just stick with the plan, guys, which is, just do wee bits at a time, really. And I will eventually get there, but at the meantime, guys, that's probably a wee awkward bit done, and it's given me a bit of hindsight of what this bigger one's going to be like, and I'm not looking forward to that. Oh dear me. But again, when it's all boarded, it's going to look super nice, and then when it's plastered, it's going to look even more super nice. So happy enough, guys. Again, just conscious, don't want to hold back my plumber of getting the floorboards done up above. But before I do them, I do really want to get this all insulated so that I can put the boards down and feel like I'm not fouling anything. So yeah, too many mind. But yeah, guys, look at the mess this insulation costs. Absolute mess of it all cut, and out of that sheet as well, that monarch, that's all it's actually left. So that was a good half a sheet up just onto them wee bits as well over the top. So it really does. Small areas tend to eat more than you would imagine with things.
What we do in life echoes in eternity.
Like and subscribe to Plastering.